Tai Chi Mastermind meeting for Friday, May 20th of 2022. And with us today is me, Richard Cleary, resident host, and Matt Holker, the regional organizer for Maryville, Tennessee, outside of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Art Don in the Washington, D.C. area. He's going to tell you where.
Hello, everyone. I'm in Greenbelt, Maryland. That is about 12 miles east of Washington, D.C.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Jared Blakesmith in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. West side of Cleveland and the Lakewood and Berea, Rocky River area.
Welcome. Harry Legg in Verona, New Jersey, outside of New York City.
Hello there, Sifu. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Philip Chan in Columbus, Georgia.
Hello.
Welcome. Mark Mashad in Michigan. He's going to tell you where.
Hi, it's in the Midwest Michigan area covering Lansing and Grand Rapids.
By the way, special welcome out to Hannah today, who's with Jared there. So sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not. Today she is.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome, Mark, and welcome, Hannah. And Jim Kelly in Boca Raton, Florida.
Hello, everybody. In the midst of a nice lightning and thunderstorm here, so I hope the internet holds up.
Stay safe. Yep.
I just made Mark cringe.
So today's show, podcast, vidcast for you is an interview, and we're for the next 8-10 sessions here. We're going to be interviewing some of the folk, basically all of the folks that are normally on the calls that are regional organizers for Clear Tai Chi. And our first person doing that is Harry Legg. And we've basically put questions. You'll see it's sort of the same format of questions to everybody. It is a format where if you're going, tell me, like for anybody else on the call, tell me more about that. Oh, that's interesting. What about? Or, just anything that would be kind of appropriate to ask about or do that. So don't think about it as just me interviewing and him answering. It is
all
open.
of us are interviewing.
It's wide open. Yeah. There you go. So let's start with simple things. What is your name?
Hello, my name is really and truly Harry Legg.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I had to.
And then, what's your school name?
The school is New Jersey Tai Chi.
And tell us your school's situation, including satellite classes, etc., and city and state locations and status updates, that kind of thing.
Okay. So New Jersey Tai Chi is a private studio. I have a separate building behind my house in Verona, New Jersey. And it's in that building where I conduct classes typically. When the weather is really nice, we're in beautiful Verona Park right outside of Legg. So we do that whenever we can, but we always have the option to come here to the private studio, which is in Verona, New Jersey, which is about 15 miles northwest of Manhattan. I also have another instructor, Paul Shansky, who is in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. That'd be about a half hour from here. And he can teach privately at his place. He is also at a couple of senior citizen community centers in Oakland, New Jersey, and also in Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
Cool. And you've also got where you've trained up about 8 Clear Tai Chi instructors.
Yeah, I just did the count. It's now 9. Yes. So over the last several years, 9 instructors.
That's both for level 1 and then for push hands.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So.
Cool. And then, yep. And you covered your satellite classes too, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
private lessons as well, of course. So corporate wellness, that whole thing. So.
Yeah, and you got some corporate wellness classes going on.
Yeah, I've been doing a little traveling around the New York City area doing that. And this is a great month for it. While we're recording this, it's Mental Health Month. So I've hit on a couple of those. Yep.
Cool. Are you doing any push hands with the mental health groups there?
Yeah. The mental health groups, no, typically not. I'm going into facilities where corporations are still kind of uptight with things. And so having people that close to each other with COVID and that, it's better off not to go there right now.
Yeah, got it. Cool. How many years have you been studying Tai Chi?
Overall, around about 15 years, coming up on 16 actually. About 12, we were trying to figure it out just the other night. It's either 12 or 13 years with you, but I had 2 or 3 years prior to even meeting you that I was at another school.
Mhm. And how many years have you been teaching Tai Chi?
I'm on my.
When would you say you first taught? Because I know you're teaching on your own, but then you were teaching some before that as well.
So before I began New Jersey Tai Chi in the end of 2015, I was teaching at the other school that I was at. Not officially teaching Tai Chi, kind of unofficially. They let me run a push hands program there. And then whenever one of the instructors there, because I wasn't an instructor there, I was an assistant, they would let me teach Tai Chi. And they knew I was seeing you and my skill level was jumping. And so there was that. And I also spent a little bit of time, the pleasure of teaching kids classes at that school.
Right. Cool.
Actually, I just want to throw my 2 cents in there, that's where I was introduced to the push hands. So thank you, Harry, for the opportunities at that school and my being able to meet you in New Jersey there.
Yeah.
On my vacation from Florida.
Well, that shows how dedicated of a Tai Chier you are. You're on vacation and you're coming to a push hands meetup. How cool. Yeah, it was great for that.
I still remember when I first met Jim and kind of seized his attention. Nah.
What
It seized my attention and made me think I was going to be crippled for the rest of my life. But thank you for fixing that.
What made you think you were going to be crippled the rest of your life?
I just I was at a workshop and you had done an energy thing and tried to reach my left foot, but my knee was bad, so it got stuck in my left knee.
Then we got it out of there.
Yes. That very afternoon.
Wow. Okay.
We didn't get the footage of us getting it out of there, but we have footage of you hitting the ground right after that happened. Yep. We'll have to show it to you at the Christmas party.
Anyways, got it.
It is. I'd like to see it, and I know. I think Denise saw it, and she wasn't happy. My wife.
I knew who you were talking about.
The listening audience.
She better for chocolate, wine, or flowers. Which one do I need to bring, or all three?
That's it. I was going to say all of the above.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, all right. What martial arts have you studied? I know most of you have studied more than one or other various kinds of Tai Chi even, or other internal arts. So what else have you studied?
Well, so the school I was at prior to meeting you, and while I was with you too, there was a period of overlapping. It was a school that taught the fundamentals of 8 different martial arts. Some Kung Fu, some Tai Chi, some Bagua, a bunch of Chinese and Korean weapons, and things of that sort. And then I spent some time in Chinatown in New York City learning a little Pakita Tersha Kali. So that was a lot of fun. And then with you, prior to like going, okay, let's make it all Tai Chi, I did train with some of your Bagua and some of your Xingyi. Would not consider myself really practitioners of those, but I'm glad to have the background in what I do have from those arts from you.
I still do those, and I still have private students for those. I just don't teach that much publicly because Tai Chi is so vast that there's no time. And most of the students that I've got, a couple things there, a lot of the students I've got would be like, well, do I do the Tai Chi or do I do the Xingyi or the Bagua, or I want to do all of it? And it's like, yeah, again, there's so much involved in the Tai Chi Chuan that it's really, you're going to have to put some real time into it for a number of years. And then somebody at once, as they get more to the advanced levels of our system, if they're going, hey, I would like to get a little bit of Bagua, a little bit of Xingyi, well then, okay. But but it really is focused in on the Tai Chi Chuan, partially because it's what I've done in my own studies. The only art I still do that goes back in the 1970s is the Tai Chi and the Qigong. and the rest of it, like boxing, I still use those thoughts and apply those things, but it's not something I teach. It's included. If we're doing something that's sparring, then boxing informs that, but it's not like I'm really teaching boxing. The Taekwondo I did in the 70s, right after that, same thing. It can inform the kicking and some of those things, but it's not like I'm teaching people Taekwondo. I don't remember most of it other than like kicks, right? And that kind of thing. And so really the Tai Chi is what I've done the longest and the most, and it's been the thing that's been consistent, whatever else I was studying along the term, doing that. So, yeah.
One of the other things, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the other things I failed to mention is that I've had the honor of training about half a dozen times or so with one of your main teachers, Uncle Bill, Willem Detours, and I had the privilege of honor hosting him here at my place a couple of times. So I'm by no means a Ciroc student, but I have had some, introduction to that. And Uncle Bill was super cool. He had one of his other instructors, who is his Ciroc guy. He said, I want you're seeing Harry this weekend, run through the system with him. And so I got the quick whiz bang course of that, which was really something as well.
Well, Uncle, basically by people who really know about him, there are other Tai Chi masters, consider him a Tai Chi master. And when our mutual friend there showed you the stuff in Ciroc that Uncle pointed out, it was all the energetic stuff where every bit of it was Tai Chi stuff that is contained within the Ciroc system. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it was all that stuff. So, kind of making the point directly. And Uncle says it. He says like there's these systems or whatever where the original sources for there's like 8 systems or whatever that Ciroc originally comes from. Tai Chi Chuan is one of them. And he knows the root, and his family art, they didn't just know the art, the rock part, they know all the root arts as well. What is your teaching experience journey?
Well, so it began at the other school, teaching kids, and then slowly, hey, so-and-so can't show up tonight. You're our closest thing to a black belt here at the school. Go ahead and conduct class. So it began that way, and I'm grateful for it. I always was sort of a teacher in my other career, which, we'll probably talk about a little later in the interview. So I'm used to tutoring people and things of that sort. And then after studying with you for a while and being certified in numerous things at this point, but when I first got your basic skills instructor certification, I waited a year before I dared to teach anyone, and this was not to dishonor your saying you're certified as an instructor, because I recognize the value of that, but I didn't feel worthy, and I really wanted to hone those skills a bit more over the next year before I had the confidence to really begin teaching someone. So I started New Jersey Tai Chi a year after being certified with you, and it just has grown over the years to the point where I really enjoy sharing with others, teaching, helping. And there is the selfish part of it. We all know if you're a teacher, you know that it makes you better. Because you are regularly practicing as you're teaching, and you're getting asked questions that challenge you, where you're scratching your head going, oh, I'm not sure. What a great question. Then I get on the phone and go, Sifu, help. And it's, great to have you for that as well. And I never ever thought that I would be a teacher of any sort of martial arts. When I first got in, I was 39 years old. I had lost my job in my other career. And when I had that other job, I was working out at a gym, had the swanky, personal trainer and all that sort of stuff. And then the plug got pulled on that right away. And I sat back here in my studio. It's both a recording studio and now my Tai Chi studio. And my partner said, you kind of need to do something. You've been sitting back here for 6 months and you haven't been working out. And I just wasn't that motivated to just go to a gym again. Not that there's anything wrong with that type of working out and physical fitness, but I had been doing that since I was a teenager regularly. And I looked at martial arts, not knowing a darn thing about it, other than I thought I wanted to kick and punch and get some cardio, and how cool would it be if I had a little self-defense? And that's what landed me at the other school. And, you don't know what you don't know. So I ultimately would have rather have started with you right away, but things are what they are.
You don't have anything, as long as you're reasonably, don't just jump into anything, but as long as you shop, like that a little bit, everybody starts somewhere.
Yes, it's true. And I did shop. I didn't just go to the first place I went. Everywhere, like there are a lot of martial arts schools here where I live, a lot. And so did I want to go to the jiu-jitsu place, the taekwondo place, the kung fu place? And the school I found had a great line, and it was that they taught 8 different martial arts. Yeah, right. And their line was, hey, when you go to school, you don't just take English, do you? You take math and biology and history, and so you come here and you're going to get all this. And I made some great friends there. One of our fellow regional instructors, who is not on the call today, was my instructor there, Chris Walsh. So you guys, if you watch these podcasts regularly, will get familiar with Chris. And then one of my current students, who just started back up with me, was like the head instructor there, not the owner. And she is thrilled because they've watched your videos and then seen my progression and went, oh my gosh, I've gotta have that. And it's awesome because there's no, at first we joked about it in a healthy way, but it was that reversal of roles. Yeah, I was the one, yes, instructor Kristen, and now, now I'm teaching her and Chris, and it's really nice. So anyway, kind of rambling here. Getting back on point, I think, was my teaching journey. So that's where I am right now.
Sorry for my delay here. There was something you said in the middle of that I didn't make a note on that I wanted to ask you or tell you, or. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Yeah, for where you were talking about that, when you go to school, do you also take math and English and the other stuff? And for a lot of things, if you were doing a specific art, like an art that throws, well, that's your throwing art. And if you had an art that kicks, then that's your kicking art. And in Tai Chi Chuan, the whole art with the Qigong included, because it's part of the Tai Chi as well, it has the self-defense part of the classes. It has the health and wellness part of the classes. It has the spiritual development aspect, mind development, leading towards spirit development aspect of the classes, and of the knowledge of the art itself. And it really branches out into all these areas from within the art. And I like that because there's a consistency to it. It's kind of like if you were studying engineering. You need to understand math. You need to have some mechanics. You need to have some terminology, in different ways to break down what words mean and that kind of a thing. And like the understanding of levers, that's probably mechanics. But and then there's other kinds of things that you would need to know that are different classes than you might just think, as opposed to just going always in and doing just the math or just the building or just the construction part and all these different things. And so I like that it has all of those different kinds of subject area that you get into that are really part of the entire art.
Yeah.
So one of the things you had written here too is that in sharing and teaching Tai Chi to other, your own skill sets and understandings really take a big leap because of teaching as well. So I thought I'd let you elaborate on that for a minute.
When you think you know something and then you've got to teach it, it's a whole different ball game. It really
So maybe
is.
tell a story of something that you can recall where it really kind of jumped out like that.
Oh geez, let's see here. On the spot. Well, but, there are questions that I get now with some of my advanced students where I really have to think about it, or I'm always honest. I would never shovel it. It's like, look, let me ask Sifu Clear about that. One of them recently was more of an energetic thing about when we're doing the alignment with Carry the Cauldron and Grand Tai Chi at the end of our form. Where are we putting that energy? And I thought I knew, but I wasn't 100% certain. So I'm like, look, let me get back to you in the next class probably and get that answer for you. And so in getting that clarified by you, that again is incredibly beneficial to me as well as my students.
Cool. What other credentials do you have?
So I did reach black belt in the other system, Body Mind Studios. I went through the hoops to become a level 2 certified Tai Chi instructor under the American Tai Chi and Qigong Association. And one of the reasons for that is it's very helpful to have one of those types of certifications when you're talking to a municipality or a community center or government, because they don't really know. I can say, hey, here's a certificate from Master Clear, and you're a world-renowned master level teacher, but they don't know who you are necessarily. They're, employees at a community center or at the government town hall. You show them this thing from this association, which somehow has gotten to be known as something they can trust, and you're in. So, and it's not to take anything away from them, certainly not, but that is also why I did that.
I will tell you that on the Clear Tai Chi, what I found is that when you have the certificate for what you've done there that's certified, and then you have them go look at the website. If they go look at like the Clear Tai Chi website and they actually go navigating anything, they start to get it pretty quick. So,
Well, yes.
This isn't just some fly by night, was here, not here one day, and now it's here.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and I have every single one of my certifications digitally scanned and made PDFs out of them. And when they ask for the, I send it all. Here you go. Yes. And there's no question. And they just want to do the CYA thing and cover their behind and go, here we are. We vetted this guy before we let him teach here. And that's really all that is.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I have, as far as if you consider them credentials, I'm not a big tournament guy, but I did win first place for form 2018 in the K-Talk Nationals in New York City. And it was the year before that or a couple years before that. I got 2 silver medals in push hands, fixed step, and moving step. And honestly, I haven't done a tournament since. I'm not saying I never ever will, but my focus is somewhere different. I don't want to train for the sport in the rule set of a tournament. I don't want those restrictions. I want to be able to train the full thing and for what I want to get out of it. But there is a lot of value to participating in a tournament, I will say.
I was going to say the bigger thing for the last couple of years is that most of the tournaments have been canceled because of COVID. So,
right.
Yeah. So they're starting to come back online and do stuff now, but yeah. Cool. What other career or careers do you have, or do you do just Tai Chi full time?
Well, nowadays, it's about 50-50. I started at 14 years old on the radio and spent 3-ish or so decades living in 8 different cities around the nation as an on-air radio personality. Moved into management, moved into being a music director, a creative director, and all the while, once I got into the business a bit, I started taking on individual personal clients. So I am and have been the voice of radio stations and TV stations all around the world. And so I live and die by my cell phone because all the stations that I'm contracted to be the voice of, they just simply send me the scripts. I go in my recording studio here, voice them, and send them off through the internet, and they land on the air all over the place. And it's a lot of fun. So the three biggest cities I were in, and were in order, was Chicago. Then I moved to LA. And then I moved to New York City to work in radio here. And as with corporate anything, but corporate radio, every year, usually around the holidays, it's, hey, happy holidays. Here's your pink slip. And they moved me for the same company. I was working for Kiss FM Los Angeles. They moved me to New York to work for a legendary station, 103.5 KTU. I worked there for about 4 years. The first 3 years of it was complete radio bliss. It was amazing. I was at the top of the world working in New York City. And then the last year, management changes, regime changes, and I was part of half the staff that got let go at the very end of 2006. And when that happened, my first reaction was, oh, geez, got to pick up and move again. And that would have made city number 9 if I had moved again. But then I said, you know what? No, not going to do that. First of all, I had just bought a house 1 year prior. And they say that's the radio person's curse. Buy a house, you get fired. Yep, I can attest to that. So I had a very scary time for a while. But also, having lived in 8 different cities, and done radio since I was 14 years old, I wasn't exactly thrilled to pick up my life again so I could introduce Matchbox 20 on the radio. It was not a big deal anymore. When you're 20 years old, it sure is a big deal in 30, and how cool is that? I had enough personal voiceover clients that I was able to make that my main thing. And here I am today, since the end of 2006, 2022, when we're recording this, to work for myself. Working for yourself is a blessing and a curse. It's quite the roller coaster. You don't have the every 2 weeks the paycheck and the health benefits and the 401k done by the company and all that stuff. But at this point, I really wouldn't trade it. I tell others that are wanting to work for themselves, and they go, well, I can always go back into the workforce if it doesn't work out. And the answer to that is yes, of course you can. But I also find that once that bird is out of the cage and you have freedom, oh, good luck stuffing the bird back in. So I would do whatever I could to stay independent. And then Tai Chi came along. I never thought I would be teaching and that this would become the other thing I do, both from a passion standpoint and my own personal development, but without, I won't say not even trying, because now, yes, I have done a little bit of marketing and whatnot, but not a ton. I'm fortunate to live in a really big market where there's, plenty of people to pull from. Tai Chi is actually starting to make a reasonable living. It's a bit more than lunch and grocery money. It's becoming a bit more. Yeah.
So the other thing is you've done stuff for radio stations all around the world. You performed on stage at the Kennedy Center in DC, at the Kennedy Center in Washington, DC. And let's see, you've done commercials. I've heard you've done some movie commercials, some trailers as well. You did the one for the big tour for, what was the name of the artist of the
Keith Urban. He is currently on his world tour. And, well, as we record this, and I did, I just voiced over 100 radio and TV commercials for his worldwide tour. Just
so when you see it on TV and you see something for Keith Urban, you're hearing Harry's voice.
There you go.
And then he was, for a while there, I don't remember how many years it was, but you were the voice for NBC Radio.
Yes, from the very beginning of the network, the NBC Sports Radio Network, it had me on over 400 stations around the country as the voice of the network. And when COVID hit, they pulled the plug and shut it down and fired everyone. So the network's gone, and they're not bringing it back. So, yeah, it's the ups and downs of the biz. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so all sorts of stuff. I've heard his voice on, what was the one that was the kids thing?
Oh, I did it. It was a Nickelodeon promo.
Nickelodeon.
Promo.
Yep. I heard your
SpongeBob,
voice
yeah.
on the Nickelodeon thing and all that too. So
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks.
And you got here that the nice part about the way you've got it now is you can actually take your mobile studio stuff with you places, and then you can travel and train and teach and all of that wherever you're at because of the ability to do that.
Yeah, technology, it's not like it used to be, a couple decades ago or maybe even 15 years ago where you had to have the big console and the stuff wasn't portable. The part of why I'm so blessed with being able to train so much and travel to you quite frequently, wherever you are, is because I can throw my studio mic and my MacBook Pro in the suitcase and show up, and all I need is a little bit of quiet, which can be challenging sometimes. Hey, can I voice this, please? I can hear the bacon and eggs pans banging in the kitchen. So there can be that. When I stay in a hotel, unplug the refrigerator that's going bzzz, or shut off the heater AC. But yeah, it's really nice. I can travel and still take care of my clients and make money while I'm on the road teaching and training. This is wonderful.
So when you call the hotel and go, by the way, are the rooms there soundproof?
Yeah, that don't happen. I do ask to be put as far away from possible as the elevators. You learn these things. Yeah.
So Harry, would you maybe some people want to hear your voiceover? I don't know if it's appropriate if you tell people how they could look you up on the internet and hear your voice in different contexts. I
Sure.
did, and I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Phil. It's out there for the public. So if you go to Harry Legg, Legg is spelled with 2 G's.com, that's my voiceover business page. And you'll be able to hear what I do.
Yep.
Thanks.
The other one I would tell you is if you like the Keith Urban, I'm guessing if you look up Keith Urban World Tour online, that you're going to get a pretty quick YouTube, like for the commercial for that. And then it's right there too.
Yep.
I love hearing your voice stuff when I'm out in public, because then I get to tell people, hey, I know that guy, and then I get to tell people, yes, his name really is Harry Legg.
Well, you got to here. I'll show this.
Both my kids. I remember Chase. When he first heard your name, and him falling over and he likes my son liked to make fun of names anyways, no matter who it was, what it was, including his own. And so he heard Harry Legg, and of course we had to wait the 5 minutes for him to quit rolling around on the floor laughing. Like when he realized, and then when he saw your business card, that was fun too.
Yep. there's the business card right there.
And and then Carly, when she was little, was like, Harry Legg. His name not Harry Legg. What's his name? She's like 5. I was like, honey, his name is Harry Legg.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, it wasn't cool. You didn't want to be called that. But for the radio and as an adult, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Do you have any notable teaching accomplishments? Anything you would want to tout, or that would be, that kind of thing?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's just an honor to be teaching as many people as I've had the opportunity to. It's been great to be able to teach at a couple large public forum events. I've gotten to teach a couple of law enforcement individuals. One is, I won't give names and whatnot, but is the actual sheriff of a county here in New Jersey. But other than that, that would be my answer.
Okay, well, that's good.
Okay.
Yep. So then I put also with that, like, who have you taught?
Well, I've taught people of all ages, senior citizens. I don't teach kids anymore. Not that I can't or whatnot, but in my own personal business, for what I do, I'd rather keep it to adults, although you can teach Tai Chi to kids at certain levels. I really enjoy both ends of the spectrum. My students, they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then the 80-year-olds that I teach. And a couple of them are really, really spry. I have this one, I don't know his exact age now. I'm guessing 81, 82. And he's former military. And he still wants to push hands aggressively. It's great. He'll feel me drop and root, and he'll drop right along with me. And I'm like, all right, keep going. And then he'll want to shove me out or whatever. And at 81 or 82, I think it's great. But when you can see the benefit that they get from it, it really means a lot. And I do everything in my power to never cancel one of the senior citizen classes. Because if I can't personally do it, Paul can do it. Paul and I purposely stagger our teaching schedules so that we can fill in for each other generally, unless we're both there training with you. But I one of the senior citizen students I have is a former Broadway dancer. She has been on Broadway. And of course, she learned form like that.
Yeah.
Then it was a matter of all the energetic stuff and whatnot, and push hands, which my seniors love, and they understand why to do that. She just recently, she was like number 9, that became a certified basic skills instructor under your program. So if both Paul and I are gone, Jerry can run the class. And it's wonderful. And they need it for so many reasons. The social aspect, and especially with the last couple of years of COVID, and just to keep their bodies moving, and they have fun. They enjoy it. And then, of course, on the other end of the spectrum, some of my younger students who want to get much more martial, and I really enjoy that as well. So both ends of that spectrum are very enjoyable.
Cool.